What's up, guys? Dylan with Dylan here, and today I've got the Can-Am Ryker for you. This is the 900cc twin. This is the three-wheeled, not a motorcycle, because I mean it is a motorcycle, but it's got two front wheels, guys. I came out today and I wanted to get some test footage of this thing. I wanted to get some ride time on it, and I want to thank Tulsa Power Sports for letting me do that. This is not my bike. All three wheels have link braking. You only have one brake down here on your right foot, and that's going to allow you to stop the machine. It is fully automatic. You do not have to shift this motorcycle at all. It allows you to basically just gas and go this puppy, which is kind of nice. I don't know what we're doing here. There we go. We're waiting on this light, so we'll open the visor up and get some air flowing, because it's kind of hot outside today. But you know, standard motorcycle turn signals, high, low beam, adjustable bars, so you can kind of fit your rider style. Right here, you just flip this up, you can move this back and forth, stop, switch. You know, all the basic things you would find on a normal motorcycle, you're going to find on the Ryker. It is gas and go, so you got to give it a little bit of throttle before she takes off. First impressions of it so far. The throttle's pretty smooth and pretty easy to use. A little bit of light throttle does get the bike to accelerate pretty good. Getting up to 40 miles an hour is, you know, just a little bit of a light throttle. It's nothing too crazy. It doesn't require a bunch of input from it. That's nice. I haven't had a chance to ride the 600cc model yet, but I imagine that it is much slower than this one. If you're used to riding super sports or really high powered motorcycles, this bike's going to feel a little bit sluggish for you. It's going to feel a little weird, having not having to shift and not having to you know, worry about upshift, downshift, and then just gas and go. Also, it's a lot heavier than a motorcycle, so 25 roll on full throttle, as you can see. It does accelerate. You know, it's not sluggish at all. It's deceptively quick for how fast, or for how big it is. You would think that it's a lot slower. You'd think it would be a lot slower, but it's not. It's, you know, and when you twist the throttle back at 40 miles an hour, it lifts the front end up a little bit and it goes. You know, for a 900cc engine on something that's this heavy, you know, that's not bad at all. It feels nice. You know, you twist the throttle and it's got some pull. You know, it accelerates. That's what you want. You want to feel good when you're on a bike, and that, you know, it has the power to accelerate good. I've rode a Can-Am Spider before, and I didn't really care for it because you set up on top of a Spider. You don't really set down in a Spider. This is more like a motorcycle. You kind of set down inside it right here, and because of that, you feel more like you're in the bike. You feel like it's more like extension of your body rather than you're just riding on top of it like you would a Can-Am Spider. Can-Am Spider, you feel like you're bouncing around on the top of that thing. You feel like when you turn sharply that it's gonna like potentially like kind of roll, even though they won't do that. I promise you. I've rode one. You can ride the hell out of them. But you know, this one, you set down in it, it feels more like a motorcycle. I can tell you right now, it is very comfortable. This is one of the best things I've seen so far about this motorcycle, is that it is insanely comfortable, or trike, if you will. I'm a 6'2", 275 pound guy. All right, I'm a big boy, and I have no issues with this motorcycle so far. It's very comfortable. It's very, like, you know, it's very comfortable. I like it a lot, actually. It feels nice. It feels really planted too. It's like crazy how tight the front end squeezes to the road. The wheels are very easy to turn. Very light inputs from your arms will still turn the wheels, which is nice, and it does not have power steering, I don't think. I think it just works really well. I think they just kind of designed this machine to kind of go, and that's you know, they just built it really well. It's got really solid looking control arms. You know, you don't have to worry about that. You don't feel like you're gonna fall over and die or anything like that. You know, it doesn't feel like you could really tear this thing up or break it if you gave it hell. It feels really well built. The bars could be a little thicker, I think. They kind of just feel a little like not solid on here. Look at this. When I tap these, the whole little riser area right here, the whole little part that the bars are sitting on, it's kind of got this wobble to it. It feels really solid, but it still shakes, and that's just weird to me. I don't like that. Other than that, though, the seating position is excellent on it. I love that you can squeeze and hug this thing right here, even though you don't really have to like a motorcycle. But you can also let your legs kind of just hang out and enjoy the ride. You can kind of lean back too. It's got a little bolstered seat. You can kind of lean back and just chill on it. It's really nice. We're gonna go ahead and get on the highway now. I'm gonna show you guys what this thing can do. So we're gonna do a little bit of a roll. I'm gonna let this guy go a little bit so that when I hit the acceleration, you guys can kind of see what it can do. That's what's important. We're 25 miles an hour right now. That guy's getting pretty far ahead of us. You know, we're gonna keep it right here, and I'm gonna show you guys what this thing can do. Here we go. Wide open. That ain't bad. It definitely gets on the highway. So let's see what it can do at a 60 roll. Alright, that ain't bad. It'll gun up to 90 mile an hour pretty quick. That's pretty awesome. I wasn't expecting much from such a heavy beast. You know, from something so big, I wasn't expecting this thing to be able to really just hop on it and jump out and accelerate with that kind of acceleration. Now let's test these brakes. All right, that's not bad right there. We tapped the brakes and it stopped, guys. It really did. It stopped very quickly. Go ahead and give it another pass through right here. Turns really easy. It doesn't feel weird to be on it when you turn. Still really good acceleration. It kind of, in comparison for you, I don't know if you've ever rode a 600cc non-super sport bike, but it kind of accelerates like that. So like think of your CBR 500s, your Yamaha FZ09, or not FZ09, FZ7 kind of acceleration. You're right in that ballpark. You're like FZ7 kind of acceleration, your CBR 500, your Ninja 650, right in that area. That's the kind of acceleration you can expect from this machine. It's not crazy. I mean, it's definitely very manageable. It feels very friendly. It feels very user-friendly, not having to give any gas. It definitely takes a second when you give it the throttle a little bit of a go for it to actually like pick up and take off. It just, you know, it's that automatic style CVT transmission where it spins up and, you know, it has to grab. It's, you know, slipping clutch system. But so as you can see, I gave it a little bit of throttle. It takes about a second or so of input before it actually starts to grab. I think that's just giving you I think it's just designed not to be super herky-jerky. I think you just, you know, the way it's set up right there is, it just kind of gives you a second to realize you're about to accelerate. That's all. Turns really well. Quarter throttle around the corner, felt really nice. Didn't feel like I was going to crash. Didn't feel like I was going to, you know, potentially hurt myself. Like I said, the acceleration, it pretty much feels like CBR 500. It's close to FZ07. FZ07 is going to be a little faster than this, but you know, it feels good. I mean, it definitely has some pull. It's got it on the low end. It's not really like, it doesn't feel like it's super good. Like the horsepower end on it doesn't feel like it really tugs that hard on the horsepower, but it definitely, on the low bite, it feels nice. It feels really nice. I enjoy it. Really snappy handling. I mean, it wants to, like, it feels weird, you know, but like if you needed to dodge something in the road with it, it's got some whip to it, you know. You can kind of like, you can cut those wheels, you know. It's kind of weird. It feels strange, I'll tell you that. It feels strange being on a three-wheel machine, but it feels weird to be so planted and still feel like you're riding a motorcycle. That's what's weird. You kind of just forget that the front wheels are there and your head's pointed forward and you're just kind of trugging along, you know. You're going just like you would on a bike, you know, and it feels nice. It doesn't feel heavy like a trike. If you've ever ridden a trike, trikes aren't very fun. They just don't inspire a lot of like enjoyment out of them. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give this bad boy one more loop. Not bad, really. The acceleration on this thing is pretty good for what it is. I mean, it's not a motorcycle. It has three wheels. It's very heavy, but for a three-wheel motorcycle, only having a twin in it, it isn't bad. It really isn't bad. It's nice. It's kind of nice, honestly. It feels nice. This is the bike you get when you want to go really put some miles out there, like you're ready to go ride for a long period of time. Okay, this is nice. It really is. You know, it's relaxing. It's a little basic. I wish it had some cruise control action going on. If it had cruise control, this thing would be just the shit. It's a little basic. You know, it's bare bones. You know, you're not getting you're not getting a crazy amount of tool, like little technological advancements and stuff like bells and whistles. It's pretty basic. You get on, you twist the throttle, and you go. And I mean, you can't ask for much more than that. I mean, everything else is a necessity. These things do sell the 900cc version, which I'm on right now. They do go for about 10 G's. Now, at 10 G's, can you buy something better? Well, if you like motorcycles, I think you can definitely get yourself an FZ07 or something like that, and then you're going to have a little bit more power. You'll be able to flick it like a motorcycle. But that's not what this is today, guys. We can't compare this to a regular motorcycle because it's not a regular motorcycle. The closest thing you could compare this to is a Can-Am Spyder. This being a lot cheaper than a Can-Am Spyder. This being, it feels like it accelerates a lot harder than a Can-Am Spyder. I gotta be honest with you. When you get on the gas, it tends to turn it on. I keep reaching for a brake right here. It doesn't have one. But I can tell you that when you step on the brakes, damn, this thing will stop. Like, you barely touch this one brake right here, and it just link brakes, slows you down. It's nice. It's real nice. Winds down. You don't have to shift. Like if I'm gonna be honest with you, if you're trying to get someone into riding and get them the experience they need to be able to ride a motorcycle on the street, this would be a really good entry-level thing, because they only have to worry about one brake, they only have to worry about gas and go. They really get the opportunity to learn the environment, kind of learn what it's like to be around cars and things of that nature. That's something important, because you got all these people around here in these cars, and you don't know how to react to that. And these people aren't really looking for you like that on their cars. Nice acceleration out of a corner. I don't really know if it has traction control, but I haven't been able to break the tire loose, and I gave it full throttle right out of the corner. So I'm not sure if it's capable of really breaking the tire loose. This is not my machine. Tulsa Power Sports lent it to me to do this test drive. They allowed me to come out today and use their machine to give you guys my quick ride and review of this machine. And I got to be honest with you, so far I'm not displeased with the Can-Am Ryker at all. I think this is something I would put a loved one on if I wanted to introduce them into the world of cycling. It just feels like it's a lot safer than a motorcycle in this day and age, where everybody's on their damn cell phone. Everybody's, got the potential to, get ran off the road by some idiot who's not paying attention. Okay, this thing right here, this gives you a little bit more peace of mind, okay, than the two wheels does. If you turn a corner, you don't have to worry about the sand. Things of that nature, like it's kind of nice. It's just kind of nice. It's that extra level blanket of security. It definitely has kind of a cool factor to it as well. People see you riding and it turns some heads. I got to be honest with you. We're actually going to pull over right here. There we go. A little bit of a bark to the tire. That's not bad. We're going to cruise around the hood a little bit, do some low speed on it, and just kind of see how we like it. So far, I don't have any real complaints about this thing, though. It's pretty nice. I enjoy the low speed on it. The brakes work really good. Let's do some turning. Turning's a little bit different. Definitely feels a little like, the motorcycle's just so smooth when it turns. It glides in, it leans. This thing, it kind of throws you in. You kind of have to, if you've ever ridden a four-wheeler, it feels very much like a four-wheeler. It feels like you, whenever you're riding it, it feels like you have to lean into the turn just like you would a four-wheeler, which isn't too bad if you've ridden a four-wheeler. Oh yeah, dude. This thing totally just ripped the rear tire loose and slid all the way around that corner. That's pretty awesome. You have the power to do that. Suspension, so far, pretty good. No complaints about that. I gotta be honest with you, it's not bad. Like, it really feels good. I thought I could get out right there. Not bad at all, to be honest with you. Not bad at all. So we go ahead and we're gonna stop her real quick. And then there's a nice little parking brake down here. You just flip this up, okay? It's gonna keep it from rolling. Then you can hop off of it real easy. You can leave it running. You don't have to worry about changing gears. And you can see this little back pad right here, kind of supporting my back, which is really nice. That's not on all the models. That is an accessory. But you can see right here, Can-Am Ryker 900cc. Feels really nice to ride. Really, really nice. They don't have a tag on it. That's weird. Hopefully a cop doesn't pull me over and go, "What are you doing, man?" Single-sided swing arm looks really great. Nice accent colors. I wouldn't choose yellow for my model, but to each their own. It doesn't look terrible, to be honest with you. you know, it's a really cool looking machine, guys. I mean, to be able to get your significant other into riding, or if you've been riding for a while, you know, that fan come on when that bad boy gets hot, to be able to get your significant other into riding, and you know, have that extra blanket of security, that safety net, if you will, just to get them used to the environment of motorcycling in general, with the people on their cell phones, cars not paying attention. Cars train themselves to look for other cars. They don't look for bikes as much. You have to be so careful and so aware of what they're doing just to keep yourself safe. Someone who hasn't ridden before and doesn't have that skill set of being a rider, you know, getting on something like this is just going to take away a lot of those things that they have to worry about: upshifting, downshifting, pulling the brakes too hard. Are they going to hit sand? You know, what lean angle do they take in the corner? Clutch work, you know, on a hill, things like that. This just takes away a lot of that, gives them the ability, allows them to build some fundamentals of just riding out there with, you know, in the concrete jungle with the other riders. Now, this is not my bike, and I don't want to keep it too long, because I don't want these guys to think I took off on their stuff for a joyride too long. They were courteous enough to let me ride it. Tulsa Power Sports, you know, they threw me the key and they said, you know what, go ride the hell out of it. That's literally what the guy told me. So we'll go ahead and flip the brake off real quick. You throw your feet back on the pegs, a little bit of gas, she's ready to roll. That's all you have to do, man. It's ready to rock and roll as soon as you turn it on, which is nice. But Tulsa Power Sports hooked me up with this guy, so if you're in the Tulsa area, you know, go check out Tulsa Power Sports. They'll let you get a test ride too. All you need is a valid motorcycle endorsement and a driver's license. You sign some waivers, and then boom, you're on this bad boy and you're ready to rock and roll. The turn in is good. It feels nice. It feels just like riding a four-wheeler, man. It's like so good. I like it a lot. Nice little burnout around the corner. Good acceleration up to 50 miles an hour. Now, you're not on a crotch rocket, you're not on a high-powered machine or anything like that. Motorcycles are definitely still king of the, you know, king in the clutch. You've got way more acceleration on a motorcycle. But again, this is not what this thing's about, guys. This thing is about just having fun, going out there, letting your significant other, and it's not just for your significant other. I keep saying that, but this is for you too if you want to ride. Like, it's just comfortable, man. Gas and go. You don't have to worry about it. People look at you kind of funny because you're like, man, that guy needs an automatic transmission, man. He sucks. He can't ride. But fuck them. I'm just kidding. No, it just really just turns heads, guys. It's something that's just cool factor, you know. Three-wheel machine, loud colors, aggressive styling. People like to see it, you know what I mean? If it's flashy, it really is. It kind of looks nice. You know, you see it and you're like, man, what is that thing? You know, you're looking over there like, oh man, what does that guy got? You know, that thing looks expensive, bro. Is that a Lamborghini? No, definitely not thinking that. But it's a turner. It's a head turner. It really is. And to be able to like ride it as an automatic, you know, I don't know what the long term, like, you know, how like, what would 2,000 miles on a Ryker be? I don't know what that is. This is just my first impressions. I want to give you guys some education on, you know, being a rider. Typically, I would tell you, you know, how good does it feel in a corner? How good does it feel when you brake and everything like that? What's the acceleration like? Does an experienced rider enjoy this machine? I think an experienced rider would enjoy this machine. It feels like riding a four-wheeler when you turn. I don't know if you've ever ridden a four-wheeler. That's exactly what it feels like when it turns. Okay, it feels like riding a four-wheeler. If you've ever ridden a four-wheeler, it feels just like turning like that. It definitely doesn't feel like a motorcycle turn, but it feels good. You know, you feel so planted in it, you know, being able to adjust the bars to your own ride height and, you know, just really set it up for you to be comfortable. You know, you could really go log some serious time on this bike, and I don't think you'd have any worries. As far as the engine, for what it is, man, I'm telling you, it runs fine, man. You're going to be able to get out there and have some fun with it, I promise you. You're not going to have to worry about that. I mean, I ride fast stuff, man. I ride an FZ09 on the regular, and it's a fast machine. And I got to be honest with you, it'll smoke this thing all day. But it's still not enjoyable to ride this thing. It's got some pull to it, you know. It pulls just about as hard as a Vulcan 650S, maybe a little bit less, just a little bit less, but it still feels nice, you know. You get on it and you enjoy it. Like right now, romp the throttle, power up the acceleration when you're going into the corner. It feels nice and smooth. You can definitely feel it put its weight on one side when you go to turn, but as far as keeping it at 60 miles an hour, it's no big deal, you know. You don't really even notice you're doing 60 on it. There's not a lot of vibration. It feels pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this exit real quick, go back to Tulsa Power Sports, give them the keys back, thank them for this opportunity to ride this machine, because it was truly a privilege to be able to take someone else's equipment out and enjoy it and ride it and give you guys my honest opinions about it. You know, not a lot of people let you do that. Tulsa Power Sports did that for me today, and I really got to thank them. That was really kind. It was really nice of them to be able to go out here and rip on, you know, let me rip on this thing a little bit and enjoy it. They specifically told me go ride the hell out of it. Okay, that's pretty cool. You don't see a lot of people doing that. Oh, it'll burn out. You barely touch the throttle and it squeaks it. Yeah. That's pretty awesome. But I don't want to tear their tires up, man. That's not fair to them. You know, they let me take this out. I'm not going to damage their equipment. A little bit of a squeak, you know, I'm okay with that, but I'm not going to go out here and burn the tires off of it just because I can. You know, they let me come out here unsupervised to take their equipment out. I'm going to be respectful of it. They told me ride the hell out of it. I feel like I rode it pretty good. You know, I got a good feel for her. I'm not going to go out here and beat on it because it isn't mine. That's not right. Final thoughts, guys. If you're looking for a Can-Am Ryker as an experienced motorcycle rider, someone who's probably logged 30,000 miles at least on the road on two wheels, I don't see anything wrong with this machine. It's not venting any heat near my legs. It's 90 plus degrees outside today and I don't feel any heat coming off this bike. It feels fine. It's venting the heat away from me. The bike's running fine. The acceleration's good on it for what it is. You definitely aren't expecting a rocket here, but it's got a nice little pull to it. If you're honestly, I'm gonna hate it. People are not gonna like me very much, but if you're used to riding Harleys, you're gonna feel like the acceleration is gonna feel fine for you. If you're used to riding super sports and stuff, you know, like you know, high horsepower stuff, not as much. But if you're used to riding Harleys, you'll definitely not dislike this machine. As you can see, you know, it doesn't take long for it to zip up the throttle. It's really just about being able to get out here and enjoy the elements safely. You know, be out here on a bike a little bit safer, you know, a little bit more relaxed than you usually are on a bike. You know, I could see myself putting one of these in the garage just so I could bring my wife along on rides with me. You know what I mean? And then when my back starts hurting from riding the FZ09 or something like that, I'll be like, you know, let me ride this for a little while. Just kidding, because she'll still be there. But, you know, I could see myself putting one of these in the garage just so she could come out and enjoy the open environment with me. You know, being able to do that for me personally would be a really big win. I don't know about for you guys, but the user friendliness of this bike is just, that is where the real cool factor comes from for me. Even the guy on the Harley gave me the wave. He respects the Ryker. But, you know, that's really where the cool factor comes for me. Being able to come out here and then, you know, do things like this and with your significant other, that's where the coolness comes from. Plus, it's just an interesting machine to look at. You know, you kind of just like staring at it. But anyway, guys, I want to say thank you for watching this. Hopefully, I helped you out. You know, the bike, in my opinion, is worth purchasing, all right? I don't know, I might end up with one in my garage at this point. But I wanted you guys to get my first impressions of it, and I hope you enjoyed it. I really want to thank Tulsa Power Sports again. It says Honda of Tulsa, but they have changed ownerships. Tulsa Power Sports, and let them know that, you know, this has been a great opportunity, and thank them so much for letting me do this. And you know what? Dylan with Dylan out, guys. Enjoy your day. Go out and ride.